Good morning. Welcome to my Wednesday devotional. I hope you guys are having a great week. It's actually pretty cold here in the DC area. We've actually are in a bit of a cold spell. We had all this great warm weather, and now it's cold. But anyway, I want to tell you just real quickly before we get started, just some housekeeping notes. Today I went to the dentist. Got my cleaning in my first step. I'm going to be doing Monday. I got a dental surgery, and then from there on in, we're going to be doing some reconstruction here on my teeth, on my top and bottom. So I'm going to be doing that, and that's going to take me until August or September. So how this affects you is, if my mouth is swollen or I'm unable to talk, I will just film it without me in it, or if not, I may not do a filming that week. But for right now, I'm just going to take it week to week, and I just came out of a dental appointment, so I thought I would do this really fast, and I'm still feeling okay. But I would really appreciate prayers for Monday. I'm actually quite nervous. But I know that, I prayed this morning about even today's appointment, and it went really well. So, and I'm learning some great things. By the way, as a note, just a public service announcement, I've been taking iron supplements with my multivitamin in the morning, and it caused all kinds of stains. That's why I'm filming after the cleaning. This is absolutely the brightest, shiniest I've had in a lot of years. I started taking these supplements when I was pregnant, I think with my second son, and it started growing stains, very dark stains on my teeth. So, in addition to the ones I already had, that I've had since I was a kid. So I just wanted to say that if you're taking iron, please beware that it does cause teeth staining really bad. And I've had some horrible, or no, I shouldn't say horrible, but not so pleasant teeth cleaning. So I'm so excited. This one went well because I did one last month. That's how often how bad those stains were. So this has been quite interesting time in my life. You turn 50 and everything just falls apart, right? So I've got gum surgery on Monday, so I really appreciate the prayers, if you happen to think of it. But how it affects you, like I said, is may or may not be filming that week, but I'm gonna do everything I can to film ahead of my appointments. So that's why I need to do mine Sunday night, I guess. So anyway, enough about me. Just need prayers, that's all. But what does it have to do with Esther and beauty? Well, that's interesting. All right, so we are on Esther chapter 2. We're on verses 3 and 4. And let me zoom out a little, see if that kind of helps. Maybe not. I guess I won't be going below the line here. Okay, well, that's another reason why I only do 2 verses at a time. All right, let me just go ahead and read it. So this is when Esther becomes queen, and that's going to go down like through, all the verses, or a lot of the verses. I just forgot how many it was, but it's a lot. And then we'll go to the next thing. So this is Esther becomes queen. That's the focus we're on right now. So we're on 3 and 4. So verse 3. This is the advisor speaking. He spoke last week and in our verses, so he's just wrapping up his thoughts here. So let the king appoint agents in each province to bring these beautiful young women into the royal harem at the fortress of Susa. Haggai, the king's eunuch, will be in charge of the harem. He will see that they are all given beauty treatments. Okay, and we're going to get back to that in a second. Verse 4. After that, one woman who pleases the king will be made queen instead of Vashti. This advice was very appealing to the king, so he put the plan into effect. All right, so I know you can't see all this, and I'm going to have to fix this. My thoughts are, on verse 3, what is beauty? Is it merely cosmetic, or does it come from within? Well, you notice here, the Bible specifically states beautiful young women. Well, what does that mean to women such as myself that are over 50? Would I be in line? No, of course not. I wouldn't be asked. That's all right. But, I guess I'll just have to pretend that, I'm 21, right? And so Haggai, the king's eunuch, okay, so he's going to see that they're all given beauty treatments. Now, when I was teaching this one in person, there were a lot of women in our modern times who are really offended by that because they don't personally believe in makeup. Now, I do. So for me, I love it. As it goes, I have to have my pedicure once a month because of my toenail scenario. So I think that's very wise. I'm imagining that the beauty treatments, and they're going to go into it later in the Bible where it's about like oil and stuff like that, which I do oils and lotions. But I'm assuming that includes the pedicures, the manicures, because grooming takes time and it takes money, it takes energy. But, as I'm getting older, I'm finding I'm having to do more of these things, like pedicure for my, ingrown toenails or whatever, which was a medical reason. I was having a lot of pain in my toes. So to go get a pedicure is medical, but it's can also be beauty. Okay. But anyway, the students I had, I think it was the first time I did this, they were really offended that to get beauty treatments. Yeah, I guess it's a feminist thing to say, I don't need makeup, and I guess you could argue that, and it's true. Actually, wait a minute. As I'm thinking about it, later on in the Bible, in the New Testament, I believe Paul talks about women shouldn't adorn themselves with jewelry and beauty and all that. And I think what Paul was talking about was where I can think of a few celebrities right now. I won't say their names. Part of a big family where they're reality people. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They spend 2 hours in a chair for makeup, and their makeup is at least an inch thick. I mean, it takes a putty knife to scrape that stuff off. I mean, that is way too much, in my opinion. I am more on the natural side, but I do believe in makeup because, I think at the end of the day, the king is much like any other man. Absolutely, get some beauty treatments, get her all fixed up, and especially in those days too. I think I was reading somewhere they only bathe like once a month or something like that. I mean, oh my gosh, I bathe every day. So to me, this seems totally logical. Absolutely, bring it on. If I was, young enough to be in that, absolutely, bring it. You're gonna go see the king. You want to be absolutely, totally groomed. Absolutely, So I don't know. But I do have to ask the question, what is beauty? Is it just cosmetic? Is it only cosmetic? Or are there other factors? Is there inner beauty? I think so. My thing is, can you do both? Can you be beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside? I believe so. I think we see some characters. Princess Leia from Star Wars comes to mind. She's pretty on the outside and smart and strong. And to me, she's kind of the ultimate princess. Who later becomes a general or something like that. She's a leader too. I mean, that's kind of how I think of Esther. She does it all, right? Okay. So anyway, let's go to verse 4. So my question is, this part about who pleases the king. Well, what defines pleasing the king? How do we please the man in our life? Or maybe other people at work. That you're trying to get along because you're working on a project or something like that. But back on the king, what would impress the king? Is it the kind of personality? I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back over here. What would please the king? Is it merely that she's just beautiful? And I know sorry guys, I know my camera here. Is it only beauty? Well, what did we find out about that? I'm trying to fix this. There we go. Vashti was beautiful, but she was disobedient. Her inner personality just didn't quite jive with the king. Maybe some guys would be okay with that. But when it comes to the king, he's a very large person. And I don't mean physically, I mean large in terms of grandiose and he owns all this territory, and he's got, hundreds and thousands of millions of people that work for him, and he's the top of the heap. He's the king. That's why they call him a king, right? you know that's why he's a king. So yeah, you better, you betcha, look your best, but you think you'd want to be your best, have that inner personality. I mean, that's what I would think. I think a man with all this vast wealth and power, he wouldn't want, I mean, I don't know, maybe he would, maybe, I don't know. This is kind of tough, I wish we could interview him now. I gotta wish these characters were alive right now. Unfortunately, this is past history, so we can only just analyze based on words. But I'm just thinking, a man with such grand power, and he's such a large personality. He's very generous. His money, remember, is the wine was flowing for a week for one party, and he had a party for 6 months. Like, oh my gosh, this guy's very large in personality. So I would think he would need someone to match that, who is subservient but smart, and beautiful. I mean, she's got to have it all, and still be attractive, especially to make a long-term relationship work. How do you keep the attraction going? I don't know. There's a lot of speculation on that, even in modern times. How do you keep the attraction going? Yeah, I don't know. I'm still, trying to think about that myself. So, I think it's both. I think it's a combination of doing your best to be physically attractive, but you also got to be physically attractive in your heart. And I would think when there's an emotional connection, where heart and mind and body, all that's coming together, I think chemistry is not something you can manufacture. I saw that some actors were talking, you can't fake the chemistry. It's either there or it's not, between the actors, which translates to the on-screen stories. And I totally agree. I think, it's just a combination of things, and you just never know. So, all right, this video is going long, and I just appreciate you guys listening and watching. I appreciate everything. I thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel if you get a chance. It's free, and it just helps get these videos out on the main page there. Just trying to spread God's word. So I'd appreciate it. And I love Esther because we can kind of take these issues that I find interesting, and we're going to find out her strengths too. Right now it's kind of focusing on beauty and how she becomes a queen, and as we go on, we're going to find out all kinds of great details. And I love to be able to just slow it down and really think about all these factors. These are debatable things. So please like, share, comment, whatever. Let's get some discussion going. Okay, all right, well, thanks guys for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. All right, bye-bye.